Hey guys, my name's James.
My name's Corwin.
And welcome to This Movie's Gay. And Corwin, we need to talk. And we need to introduce our guest so we can get to talking.
Okay, our guest is a returning guest. You
Hey there.
know her. Her name is Nina.
Hey.
She was on the Love Simon episode, and she's lovely, and I love
thank
her,
you.
and she's here.
And yes, this movie, we need to talk about
Okay,
it.
so...
But I think James needs to talk to me.
Okay.
specifically
Well,
about
real quick, I'm pretty sure at the same exact moment of today's movie, it's Netflix's The Perfection. We'll get into a summary real quick. Also, please be aware, this movie, we will be spoiling the fuck out of it. And this is one that, if you're planning on watching it, you don't want to be spoiled. So with that being said, spoilers throughout. Fast forward until you hear the Hollywood Squares. Gotta put that in the Hollywood
What?
Squares.
Oh.
That's our theme song. I'm saying I put that at the end. So I'm saying fast forward until the end.
Amazing.
Or maybe to plugs. I'm pretty sure at the same exact moment we all have the same note, bugs.
Yeah.
And then right after that, I put, we just couldn't rewatch Gay Bed and Breakfast of Terror because I thought this movie was going to be a bug epidemic contagion type deal where the girl is trying to scratch bugs out of her arms the entire movie. Luckily, it wasn't. But I was not having it. I had to pull up my shirt. I had to plug my ears because I didn't want to hear her scratching at her arms. I don't even want to scratch my arms right now. I'm afraid I'm going to tear into my own flesh. Mine own flesh.
Is that what you need to talk about?
Yes, Corwin, I am frustrated with this movie.
wow.
Before we get into anything in the movie, I do want to say that the movie has a lot of body horror, I guess.
Yeah,
and,
that would,
and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
if you can't handle
arm,
things like that,
Yeah.
then don't
Bodily functions.
watch
Yeah.
don't watch it.
Guys, you want to know a perfect movie if you're like really into just, I want a sweet treat to watch. Skip the first 3.5 minutes of the movie. Then watch until they wake up the first morning and you got a perfect movie.
Do you?
It's literally, we hear some beautiful music, there's a sex scene, and that is it.
That's true.
Okay, so the movie was The Perfection, and it was from Netflix like this year or last year. It's very new.
Corwin, I forgot to say, happy Halloween. It's our Halloween month.
That's why we're watching scary movies. It's our first episode of the month. And
Was
Nina
scary.
absolutely loves Halloween, so
I do.
this
And
is
I was
one of the
like, all
reasons I
right,
was like,
I'm in it.
Nina's gonna join us.
You wanna
for
do
this
every
month,
ep?
So
Maybe. We'll
Okay.
talk.
we'll talk.
I did bring candy for this.
Oh,
She
yes.
brought
So-
candy, and I ate it all.
And thank you.
No problem.
I had to stop eating the sucker because I have body dysmorphia and I was afraid that it would make me fat.
Oh my god!
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I mean, don't be sorry. That's my own issues. Actually, it's my mother's issue. Hey, Mom, as I've said on podcasts before, it's your fault. Also, my sisters, she said I would grow up to be Jack Black's character in Orange County.
And you didn't like the idea of that?
No, because
I don't blame you.
She was saying, one, I will be out of shape, lazy, no job, and just sponging off my parents. My sister was very hurtful.
When I was thin, my family made fun of me for being thin, and then I got chubby, and my family made fun of me for being chubby.
And you said-
ain't that the way it goes?
I can't win with you guys. You want to know what you do with your family? You shut them out and you don't need to talk to them.
All right. So as we normally do with episodes, and Nina knows because she was on the podcast before, we're going to make her do a quick
Dang,
synopsis
I thought
summary
so.
of the movie.
Unfortunately, this time she doesn't already have a notebook with notes as well as the book it's
I was
based
gonna
off
say
from.
this one didn't have a book. So.
Last time she had the book, she had chapters highlighted, chapters
did.
marked to bring them up. She was ready.
She was like, I just really want to know your guys' thoughts. In the book, this is how they did it in the book, but for some reason they did it this way in the movie.
I kind of
fun.
threw out feelers about the movie in our group chat like a week ago, maybe.
I know,
or a
and
few
I
days.
honestly just looked it up
And-
to see if there was a book.
Yeah.
That
and-
was it. But I didn't go farther because I didn't want to know what it was about.
Yeah.
none of us knew.
I knew nothing. I did see a little bit of like whenever you go on Netflix, it
Starts playing
starts
a little
playing
bit.
a little bit, and this movie was on the top of my Netflix for like ages.
Yeah.
Because for some reason it didn't come out during Halloween. It came out in like February.
I mean, it feels
or something like that.
It takes place. Okay, this is a classic like Nightmare Before Christmas or Gremlins conundrum. Is this more of a wintertime movie or a Halloween movie?
It wasn't even in wintertime though.
Yes, it
like,
was in
We
Boston.
did see some snow,
Yeah.
but I don't.
No. I
And
mean,
they
it
had
wasn't wintertime when it
jacketings.
came out, I guess.
Oh, but if
Yeah.
it was February,
It might not
The
have even been
polar
February. It was just
vortex.
forever ago. It might have been over the summer. I remember seeing it when I was looking for movies for Pride. So I was like, oh, there's a movie for us to watch when it gets to scary, spooky season.
ooh, scary.
Well, here we are.
We're here. Okay. Synopsis.
All right. So I was trying to think. I guess it starts with like this cello school, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there is
Well, it
this.
starts with...
I mean, I know where it
Yeah.
starts, but like in general.
Yeah.
So there's the cellist prodigy, Charlotte, who has gone through this schooling, I guess, kind of meets Lizzie, who is in the school,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
I
she's,
think just coming there.
just living that life.
Fresh-faced and dangerous.
And like she's got fingers and I was like playing with the cello.
I think she's probably about...
She's like fast fingers.
She's like past where Charlotte was when Charlotte was in the school.
Right.
She's now like a
Wait, no, I think
performer in China, but still like
Oh yeah, they were in
at
China.
the school.
Right. So Lizzie and Charlotte meet at this function for the cellist thing. They meet, form a friendship. It's this. How do I describe
Friendship,
this?
more like fuck shit, baby.
It really was, but I don't know how to describe this movie without like.
Go into spoilers. You can spoil away.
I guess okay. So then
So spoilers
Charlotte.
happening.
She ends up giving Lizzie hypnotic drugs and kind of like forces her to hallucinate while they're on this trip in China.
They're dropping acid.
Yeah, ish. And then
Acid-ish? Or assish? No, that's just saying I'm like, never mind, guys.
okay, so
That
that's where
can't
the
be
bugs
done.
come in. And the bugs, like she's hallucinating that she has bugs. And Charlotte all of a sudden is like, "Oh, you have bugs crawling in your skin."
Fast
I
forward.
have this. Yeah.
I don't want to hear
Yep.
this.
Okay, so then
Plug your ears.
that
I guess
happens.
I have. Oh yes, I'll plug my ears. I have headphones on, Corwin.
Take the headphones off. Plug your
Okay,
ears.
so fast forward. Lizzie doesn't have a hand anymore. Let's say that. So, and you'll never know why. So she doesn't have a hand. She goes back to this like academy for the cellist and talks to Anton, who's kind of in charge of this.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Was this a school only for? Was it only cello?
Yeah.
God,
Yes.
that's such a
Yes.
niche school, and they need to diversify.
No.
Oh.
No, they don't.
Oh, actually, no, they don't because we know
yeah,
what
okay,
we
yes,
know what's
yeah.
going on
But
there.
keep going.
So Anton, he's like the head professor, dean, whatever you would call him, chief of cellos, and
Chief of cellos.
so and Lizzie comes back and is like, I don't have a hand. That bitch like made me cut it off.
Because she was jealous.
Yeah, she was jealous
Of my fame,
and then
my fortune.
And then Lizzie goes back to Minnesota where Charlotte is hanging
Well,
out.
why
with her-
she go back to Minnesota?
Oh, because Anton kicked her out of the cello
Which
academy.
I want to quickly say, anyone
Yeah.
who is like, if you get your hand cut off and you have an instrument that you're a genius at, you know music theory. Just start making trap beats online. You're gonna be fucking rich.
Okay, so then Lizzie goes back to Minnesota, or does not back, but she goes to Minnesota, finds Charlotte, like kicks her ass in her house, and is like, "You did this to me, you ruined my life," sort of a situation, right? So then all of a sudden, cut to we're back in Boston at this cello school. Chief of cellos is like, "Lizzie, what are you doing back here? I told you to get the hell out." Lizzie is like, "Well, now I have something you want. Charlotte's in the trunk of my car." So then. Yeah. And then I was like remembering. So then Anton ends up like talking to Charlotte and he's like, "Why'd you do this? Like, you're kind of crazy too." And she's like, "I did it to get to you." And we're like, "What?" And then all of a sudden, right, we wake up all of a sudden,
They're in this beautiful
like cello room.
Yes, that
Not
is-
yet. Anton and Charlotte have a conversation, and Charlotte's like, oh, I cut off her hand to save her.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
right.
From you.
From you. And yeah, Anton's like, from who? And she's like, you. Oh my gosh. And then
he drags her tied up downstairs.
he did drag her.
And she fights, and then he knocks her out, and then she wakes up all
Yes.
done up and pretty in the cello room.
God, I wish I looked that great when I woke up.
I know, seriously. But no, she was chained to a chair then.
Yeah.
I
And then
wouldn't
it
mind
kinda
that
is-
either.
And it's also revealed then in a flashback of Charlotte's childhood that she was actually being sexually abused by the chief of cellos and then the two other professors.
And that also, everyone we've seen besides maybe Paula, is that what her name was? Paloma.
She was
everyone else has been assaulted as well as children.
Yeah. Kind of seeming like it was almost like a cello cult.
Yes.
School.
Which is
and
so
yeah.
guys, get a new hobby.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it goes on. Charlotte ends up having to give this performance in front of them. Turns out there's 10 more twists loaded up in this plot, and Lizzie's working.
I wrote down that there's more twists than a bag of honey barbecue Fritos.
Ooh, I love those things.
They're the best chips.
So yeah, there are lots of twists and turns. It turns out that when they were in Minnesota, Charlotte and Lizzie realized that they had to work together because I guess that was the duet portion of the movie. I guess
It's a 4-act play.
Mm-hmm. And so then they work together to kind of mutilate Anton
And kill everyone else.
and kill everybody else. Yeah, the two other professors got killed.
And
Paloma got stabbed in the back and then
And she
peed
was
herself.
friggin' pissing.
She was so drunk.
Oh, she was so drunk she didn't even know she got stabbed.
Oh, I thought they said we didn't even drug her. She didn't know we stabbed her.
No, they were like, she's so drunk she didn't even know she didn't even know we stabbed her.
Oh, geez.
Oh boy, I have to go back and watch that. No,
I wish I could get that drunk.
but yeah, and then that's kind of how it ends. Is
don't.
Lizzie with her one hand is playing the cello, then with Charlotte, because then Charlotte also got her forearms mutilated by Anton in a rumble tumble situation
And lost her whole forearm.
Yeah.
So Lizzie has one hand.
Yep.
Her right hand, or no, she has her
She has
left
her
hand.
left hand because
but
she can
doesn't
do
have
the
her right
chords.
hand.
Yep.
And then Charlotte has her right hand, but doesn't have her left forearm / hand.
And
So
I
they're
believe-
conjoined
So
somewhat.
They ghosted.
They definitely
did
ghosted.
the ghost thing.
Yeah.
Where they make the clay pot, but instead of making a clay pot, they were playing cello.
The cello for the mutilated Anton, just sitting in a chair
who
with his
they have
eyes and mouth sewn shut. Yeah.
They,
Well, also, did you
yeah.
say his limbs were also severed?
Oh,
his limbs are
yeah.
severed.
No legs, no arms.
No legs, no arms.
Who is the medical professional? Because
No
he also
clue.
had an IV.
Yeah, he did have an IV.
He
So
had an
something keeping him
IV.
alive. He did have underpants on too, thank God. Because
I wanted to see that dangle.
we had already seen a blurry vision of it. That was
Yeah.
good.
That might have been. He could have had a cock sock on.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
probably.
sorry you didn't get that.
Sorry you didn't get to see his penis.
Guys, we got to start watching Eating Out again. You see so much dangle in it.
I saw a gif from that movie the other day, eating out one of them, and I was like, did we watch them all?
Yes, we did.
I can't remember.
Besides the one in pre-production, or it could be production right now. It's been a year, almost.
Which one was what happened in Open Weekend?
Open Weekend?
Is that when they went to the pool?
Yes.
Got it. Got it. Great.
That's such a great series.
Anyway, yeah, this movie was there weren't any really jump scares. It was more like just twists and some body
disgust scares.
horror.
I feel like James may have jumped once or twice.
No,
or is that just the bugs?
James
Yeah,
was like, ugh.
Yeah.
I offered many times for James to turn off the movie and us watch
That's very
something
true.
else.
I'm glad it was very quick, and then this was a fucking great movie.
Yeah, great, beautiful
Besides
movie.
that little clip of
as far as actual story, the movie
Yeah.
was good. I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy the body horror and all of that stuff. I could do without. But as far as actual storytelling,
Yeah.
they told a story.
Sure did.
The only body horror I want to see is when I'm naked looking into a full mirror.
James.
I have body
It's not
dysmorphia.
body
And then we
horror.
cue the like lightning strikes and
Ooh,
scary
I like
music.
that.
Dun, dun, dun.
I can I have a box that I can program lights with, like
Cool.
So I could make that happen. Like I can make them
Give
strobe,
give
have
yourself
red
some
lights.
strobes,
Yeah.
some, and then have the little sound box on it somehow that makes the lightning noise happen.
Yeah.
Or get one of those things that makes the lightning noise and just have like a mechanical thing that whenever you walk up to the mirror, it just like shakes and
no,
I
makes
was
the
gonna say,
lightning
are you
noise.
saying like a metal sheet, like at the
Yeah.
science
Yeah.
museums and stuff? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll just have Frank shake
Make Frank
one.
do it every single time.
Franklin,
Frank?
activate
Franklin?
thunder noise.
Activate lightning.
I'll just tie it to his back paw, and when he scratches his ear, it starts making the thunder. It'll be a very thin slab of it, probably like our stickers, 2 inches by 2 inches.
I feel like that doesn't have enough
be-
area to make it shake.
But it would, but it'd be thin. It wouldn't be thick.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't have the power.
It'd be like
Then it's like a piece of tinfoil.
Then you got
Yeah.
some tinfoil. You're just shaking some tinfoil.
Yeah.
That's not making the noise,
if
James.
that's what we have to work with.
That's not thunder. We want the thunder.
Thunder.
Da, da.
Amazing. I guess I should look at my notes, maybe,
mean,
possibly.
yeah.
I have a lot of just like random things. We all wrote bugs. We definitely all did.
So I don't know if I've said it on this podcast. Whiplash, I do not like that movie. It's just like, dude, you don't need to put yourself through this. However, I will defend the teacher on Whiplash. At least he was at face value with all of his criticisms. There wasn't he wasn't trying to manipulate anyone.
But he did.
I mean, in the end, he
Yeah, I was
manipulated
like,
to
wait a second.
to like.
It's all brainwashing.
Well, I mean, up until like him.
What are you talking about?
Are
What's
you talking about his
Whiplash?
cello criticisms?
No, I'm talking about the teacher in Whiplash. He wasn't manipulative.
Yeah, I was
Oh.
like, what the fuck? I don't know what Whiplash is.
Oh, it's that drummer movie, and it has J. Jonah Jameson. He's screaming at that kid like,
is that?
You got Peter Parker's boss at the Daily Bugle.
I know
which
exactly. And it's
Spider-Man?
the guy that
So
was on
many
Juno.
He was on all the I think he's on all the Spider-Mans as J. Jonah Jameson, right?
Yes, because he's like the only person that can play that
Yeah.
role. But he was also in Juno as her father.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know his real name. It also has 2 J's in it, I think.
wow.
So it's very confusing. But it's that drummer, and he's really mean, and the kid's hand is bleeding.
I've never seen the movie.
Okay,
so-
well, he's a mean person in there, and it's like, dude, just okay. Again, if you're a fantastic drummer, you want to know who needs people in a band? Everyone besides drummers, because drummers are in big demand. People don't want to lug around drums. So if you are good at drumming, just be in a goddamn post-hardcore band, and don't be like Mikey Whiskey Hands, though. That dude's a piece of trash.
You went off on a way tangent. Okay, what the fuck are we talking
From
about?
Pierce the Veil, Mikey Whiskey Hands.
but
Mickey
for the
Whiskey.
movie, you just started talking about Whiplash.
Yeah, what I'm saying
the
is,
movie.
okay, so people who know Whiplash will be like, yes, I understand what James is talking about.
That seems like a very small pool.
No,
of people.
Whiplash won Oscars. The fuck? How do you guys not know what
I'm
Whiplash
so
is?
sorry.
Neither one of us
I
cared about the
don't-
Oscars
I
for
think
like
it
2 or
won
3 years.
Best Picture.
We
Well-
were both like, Oscars? Fuck that.
We're both like looking at each other.
Hold on. If I bring up a
Wasn't there-
picture,
I feel like there was one night that we specifically did an entire event just to not have to do anything with the Oscars.
Maybe.
I think we did.
I think
I think
so.
we hung out and like watched Schitt's Creek for hours.
We're like, let's not. Well, I'll look it.
Oh my
I'll look it
God.
up. I'll look it
He's-
up.
no,
I
I'm
am
going
aware of the movie. I just have not watched
to. And
it.
he goes,
And I don't care to.
Hold on, I'm going to play it for our guest.
Oh my God.
Corwin, commentate this.
Oh, I'm watching
There's
the trailer.
nothing happening. I really can't hear anything. So right now, James is just showing a video.
Oh,
And
I see him doing it. Oh, that is the
Amazing.
dad from Juno. I recognize his face too.
I'm glad that was the thing that you recognized. Oh yeah, the dad from Juno. Yes.
Oh wow,
Yes.
he's ripped. Wow, muscles.
You gotta be ripped if you're playing drums.
Yeah, that makes sense. Blah.
Amazing. I like playing drums on Rock Band.
Oh shit, he is similar to like what's going on in this movie.
But at least he's all face value. You know he's a dick.
But also that's kind of what happened. Oh, sorry. That's what happened in our movie. And then the guy got naked and we were like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, our movie, everything seemed weird with just the Charlotte. And then it flipped over and Charlotte was like, I was trying to save her from you. And we were like, wait a minute. And then it was like, twist, y'all.
Twists on twists.
He's
So it is
a
kind of
pervert.
good that like Charlotte's mom got sick for her to leave this
But that's what I was wondering. I was wondering if Charlotte's mom even got sick for that. Like, because she said that her mom pulled her out and put her through therapy.
Oh, and maybe
to get rid of the brainwashing.
Remember when she was running out of that scene? Which made me think, I was starting to think maybe this wasn't sexual assault. Maybe I thought like they were hunting people and she's just the one who made it out. Like all these kids, they need to survive this fucking weird cello hunting children.
I mean, it is true that like didn't know what was going on. Yeah, like did not know where it was
could have gone
going.
in so many directions and it chose the one it did.
Because it also like they also kept just being like, if you make a mistake, you're going to have to go through it. And you're like, well, go through what? And then it happened to be.
And then, because we were like, it can't be, because there are two of their teachers are just sitting there in the chairs watching. And then he's like, you're going to have to pay the price. You're going to have to pay the price like we all did, like he did, and I did from my father. And my father had to pay the price, blah, 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 blah. And then we're like, so it can't be sexual assault. And then literally the screen just shows him blurred out walking through naked. And we're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I was also like, I thought it might have taken a supernatural where they like.
I think you were being optimistic and hoping.
James in the beginning was like, this is a zombie movie.
Yeah.
I mean, we did see that dude like throw up violently and it was like, it was like yellow puke.
And that didn't throw back at all, except to say that Lizzie was like, oh, I've got the thing that he's got.
Yeah.
Except mine has bugs in it.
Yeah,
well,
what
we didn't
did that
know.
guy have?
We don't know if he had bugs, but I think
he didn't have bugs.
I think
she didn't even have bugs.
She
was hallucinating the bugs.
But she wasn't even sick from that. She was sick from the pills that Charlotte made her take. But then Charlotte also was just like, all right, I'm going to give you 2 more. And Lizzie's like, I'm going to take a whole handful.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Of those like horse pills that don't look like ibuprofen.
Yeah, I was like, that's not ibuprofen at all. But then Charlotte convinced Lizzie that she was, seeing bugs and all that stuff. And then, made her cut off her own hand. So that was a little far. I understand she wanted to get Lizzie away from the abuse situation, but
guys,
that was real fucking far.
If you have a friend in an abusive anything, make them chop off their hand. I am
Don't
kidding.
do that.
Yes.
Please seek out help from people that are trained to help you. None of us are trained to help you.
I am CPR and first aid trained.
I was
That's
CPR and first aid trained.
But that's not
on a date.
But that's not the help that you need.
Right.
So yeah,
just there are definitely outlets to get
PSA,
some help.
Find some help.
Oh, I was trained, I believe, green belt in Taekwondo.
All right. Speaking of green belt, I have green writing for my notes, so I'm going to say another one. Let's see. The dead mom shot in the very beginning, that was so creepy.
Yeah.
And that's what set the tone for us thinking that Charlotte was insane, which she kind of was. I mean,
I don't think she was.
She got someone to chop their own hand off to get them out of an abuse situation. That is not someone that is thinking rationally.
That is someone who is strong-willed, much like our current president, who is, I think, doing an A-OK job. I'm kidding.
I was like, where is this going?
James making a bad joke. Oh,
it got
James.
laughs, man.
Oof, uncomfortable ones.
Yeah, those weren't real laughs, James. Those were not real laughs.
Yes, they were. Chuckles.
Okay, so one of my notes that I had. So Lizzie and Charlotte.
Can I do a quick?
Yeah.
When we laugh for this month, we can't go. We have to go. Because it's spooky month.
There you go.
That was scary.
I'll insert in that. I'm kidding, guys. This is literally being recorded 2 hours before it goes up.
James is not doing any fucking editing today.
I still will be.
He still will be, but that's just because he works hard. Pay him money to record things for you.
Please listen to my other podcasts, guys. I've worked really hard for a year. It's almost a year that I haven't had a job.
Almost a year.
I mean, without, I make money doing recording other people, but in guys, I usually work like 10-hour days, 7 days a week. I'm exhausted. Please listen to my stuff, but go with your note.
Jesus.
So sorry. I will get right on that. But one of the notes that I had...
I wasn't being pushy. I'm like, please get me off from this.
Why are you interrupting her again?
Why are you screaming at me?
Guys.
Because it's Halloween. It's spooky.
Screaming isn't spooky unless it's like... Well, there's a black cat in here meowing.
I know. Wow.
Okay.
On cue.
Okay, what's your note?
Well, one of the notes... So when Lizzie and Charlotte get together the next morning... Or no, I guess it's at night. Charlotte admits that it's her first time having sex with anybody.
Oh,
and so then
yeah.
I wrote down, I was like, is she lying about her virginity? Because she seems old enough to have had some sort of relationship. And then we realized that she's been sexually abused for most of her life. And I was like, oh, wow.
I forgot about that.
Right?
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh, gosh, what a terrible thing. But yeah, I realized that I had that in my notes along with, is she from Minnesota? Where?
Yeah. I have that Charlotte's intense as fuck because when she first meets Lizzie, she just stares her down. And then Lizzie is like, no, I love you, Charlotte. It was a little weird at first to watch.
They definitely were moving fast.
I understand now that a lot of it is written that way, probably because of the later reveal about all of the sexual abuse and stuff.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, when we had no idea what the fuck was going on, and we just knew that Charlotte was probably poisoning Lizzie,
yeah,
we were just like,
we had inklings.
I gave her the benefit of the doubt.
What is happening?
I thought it was a zombie movie, guys.
He thought it was a zombie movie. He was like, I was like, she's poisoning her. Those aren't ibuprofen. And James is like, nah, I think it's environmental. I was like, damn.
I was just thinking it was a contagion type
bugs.
deal. So in the beginning of the movie, they're watching this cello performance, and Lizzie is saying like, ooh, look, you want to see something that makes me hot?
Oh
These
my God.
a mother of one of the cello players and the father of another were clearly having an affair, and they kind of sneak over to each other in front of in an entire auditorium, kind of hold each other's hands a little bit, and then she starts going towards his ding-a-ling, and then they have just met, Lizzie and Charlotte. Lizzie whispers into Charlotte's ear and says, that got me wet. And that would have been like me walking up to Corwin the first time we ever met, and then we see I don't know, someone arguing because at our old job that happened a lot. And I go, hey, Corwin, that makes me randy. That's weird.
I would have never spoken to you again.
Yeah, I was going to say, this
like,
podcast would not exist.
Fuck? That James guy's weird as fuck, y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all all know, and you told me, but he got me cornered one day and I hated it.
Cornered in the cubicle.
Ah, scary.
It's nothing but corners.
Yeah, but definitely a very they move very fast in that meeting each other and being very comfortable around each other. And it kind of does end with them still
liking each other,
loving and liking each other. So I assume that their relationship is on the up and up after.
I mean, I think they're both a bit
crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely.
The way they were playing the cello at the end and just staring at.
Well, also they have to be caring for this amputated man.
I have a real question. How long do you think they're going to do this?
Until he dies, probably.
But there's an entire school upstairs. Like
I was gonna say,
yeah, the kids' room and board there.
That's the private room. Only the select few are invited to this to play here.
Totally, but then like they also killed the professors and then the
everyone
chief
who
of
works
cellos
there.
and Paloma, who's then the wife. And so I'm like, I
They
wonder
boarded
if
everything up.
they-
I think they probably like kicked the kids out and were like, "All right, this
or
is
do
our
you think
torture
that they're
chamber."
then they go upstairs and like are pretending to then
Be the teachers,
or like, oh, we don't know where these guys went. We'll take care
No.
of you. I don't know.
The
I'm like,
police would have shown.
But also, like, Charlotte was probably in
Yeah.
the hospital for a while after getting her like
absolutely.
arm stabbed. Because
Unless she Googled that too and like because like she Googles the like how to improvise a tourniquet. I'm wondering if she like
well, no, they okay. Clearly,
Google, y'all.
right.
they amputated all of his limbs and then sewn him up. So they had to sewn her own arm shut.
Google.
What? Only if they
Please
had
don't
lightsabers, guys.
Do that.
Yeah, don't go to a hospital.
Go to a hospital, y'all.
You know that's why when Darth Maul falls down that hole, he's not bleeding because a lightsaber instantly cauterizes you.
And he comes back
Yeah.
in the cartoons.
Guys, you gotta watch
Spooky.
episode 1.
Yeah, I thought the dude that got sick was also poisoned. And then, yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, it's twisty-turny.
Twisty-turny.
I know
There's
I
a lot
wrote
of stuff.
third twisty, then fourth.
They had this movie, like our last movie, had like numbers and things flash on the screen. So
Yeah, 4-act play.
The first one I missed, but James and Nina said it might have been Mission.
I thought it said missile, but I think it
It couldn't have been missile.
That would not have
the
made
second one
sense.
was Detour, and then the
Yes.
third one was Home, and then the fourth one was Duet.
yeah.
So that's Mission, I guess, was to save Lizzie, and
Yes.
then Detour
To get that
to get her away from Anton
Yep.
and
and to like get her hand
unbrainwash her.
yeah, get her hand cut off somehow.
Yeah, and then Home was
Everyone's
Lizzie go
home.
home, and then she sees that Anton, just abused her and things, and didn't love her if she couldn't make cello music.
Yeah, it was also like, oh my god, it was like you make
Culty.
one mistake, and you're like, wow,
Yeah,
it was
miss
very-
one note. and
I would also
awful.
like to point out, so we do know he's a creep, and he's talking to them very weirdly in the beginning of the
yes.
movie when
Yeah.
he says, my 2 most perfect students. And then you guys said, what teacher talks like that? And I wrote down as a joke, like, that's how I would talk about MC Deep and Eddie Bongs. Those were rappers from my hometown that I helped become what they are.
I was gonna say, and then if they perform together, I believe he said it's a dream come true.
Yeah.
So you would say that. You would
Yeah.
think, wow.
And they did do a collab, 2 of them.
And did you say that?
Yeah.
Cool.
It was weird. It was weird.
And it
I
was-
have never had a teacher
Yeah, and
that
again, I
intensely
think
weird.
it's written that way because you're like, oh wow, he really cares about his students, maybe. And then we realized later that it's a
But
all
both of
cult
us were like, he was
brainwashing.
doing that. We were both like, what?
Yeah.
So maybe it's written that way, but I don't know. Neither one of us got the caring thing. We both were like,
Maybe it's also
there's
too
some
because like
creepy
I've
there.
never been to like a private school to play cello, or I don't know. I'm like never went to
Yeah.
that. I had
Corwin?
public school.
I didn't go to a private school to play cello, no. I did go to a magnet school that was for like arts and things for a year, but yeah.
ICP saying, don't know how those work. Magnet schools, miracles. Corwin, I know, doesn't know this reference.
No, I have no idea what you're saying right now.
ICP has a song called Miracles, and in it, they're listing off miracles, and then they say, magnets, how do they work? And it's like, come on, guys, open a fucking book.
Or dictionary.
Well,
Wikipedia.
I mean, we don't really know how magnetic fields affect a lot of things. So
No, but
that's a real thing.
they're just talking about
Science.
magnets in general of like, how do they connect to one another?
Through magnetic fields.
Yeah, yes, but they're saying it's a miracle.
Science.
It is a miracle.
You want to know what's a miracle? My love for Nicole. I'm kidding. Nicole's love for me.
Miracle.
Science.
Science.
Ooh, spooky.
So spooky.
So spooky.
Monster Mash.
else
There's
was-
doctors.
Yeah, there was such a... I wrote gross like 3 times on my paper. Just gross.
Yeah,
Ew.
it kept getting more and more gross.
She beat her head against a window and broke it.
I had my
she
eyes
also
closed
punched a
during that.
picture and
Yeah,
broke
she was like
it.
hallucinating and like banging her head against. Oh my God. That whole bus scene had me really uncomfortable.
I thought she was just going to jump out the back.
I thought she was going to pull down the window and then jump out.
Oh, that's...
She couldn't get the window open. She couldn't get it open.
And then she vomited on it.
Yeah, and then all the bus driver was a dick, but all the people that were on the bus were like, no, take care of her. They were all nice. They gave her waters.
A face mask?
A face mask, because they were like, please cover your face.
Yeah, and the translator's like, it's more for them than for you.
They think you're very ill, and they don't want to be very ill, so please put the mask on.
I wrote it down too when I saw the guy like vomit. And then the next scene, nobody had a face mask on, and I was like, "What? Like, if there's something in the air, put a mask on your face."
Put a mask on.
No, it's
y'all.
because they were all drinking. Guys, don't be a booze hound. Be a hound for the Holy Spirit.
I was just a booze hound the other day, and I was fine.
Or as my mom says, the boozerelli.
Oh,
was definitely the
boozerelli?
She's like, "Oh, you're such a boozerelli." I'm like, "Mom, I had one beer. Take it easy."
I'm a boozerelli. I had a thimble of beer.
Right?
Ooh. Amazing. Yeah, the bus thing is what most of my notes are about, just because it's just me writing gross on my paper so many times.
I also wonder, so the detour, Charlotte wanted to get Lizzie away from Anton. Mission accomplished, because they're in China in the middle of nowhere. But then she picks up the cleaver when they're getting that like lunch or whatever. So I'm like, did she know in her head that she was gonna...
Yeah, she gave her the
hallucinogens, right?
Hallucinogens in the very, like when she woke up that morning with a
I
hangover.
know.
She's like, oh, to cure your hangover, here you go. So I think she was definitely planning on having her have hallucinations and sort of leading them.
No, and I have that in my mind. I guess I'm just wondering, did she already plan that like she was gonna have her cut off her hand?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She planned
okay.
that from the beginning.
And just found the cleaver at the lunch place and was like, cool, I'll take
Yeah, because
this.
you don't want a paper trail, and it's probably hard to get knives through customs.
Right.
I mean, she also was the one that suggested going to lunch. So she knew that Lizzie wasn't feeling well. So she'd be like, let's go to lunch. And she probably had seen that place and all that. So she went to the back and saw the cleavers. She went to the back where they were doing the cleavers and stuff. Like, why did she even go back there? She knew what she was doing. She was going to steal one.
I know fans. Oh, no, you keep going.
I guess no, it was just that shot. It just, she didn't look like she looked like she had stumbled upon the knife, and I was like, oh, this'll do. I don't know, but who knows?
So I know our fans are probably thinking, wow, we're talking about like knives and like cutting off arms. They're expecting James to say, ask Corwin and our guest to say like, hey, what's the best knife to cut off your hand? But we already know it's a lightsaber.
Yeah.
But of real swords. We got to get Crocodile Dundee down here. He'd know.
What's that giant sword called?
A bastard sword.
Is it? It starts with a Z.
Excalibur.
No.
I was going to say Long
Xena.
Claw, right?
Ziegweller?
Wasn't
Oh, I don't.
Ziegweiler.
I want one of those curvy swords. Those
oh.
looks like a snake.
A Kree.
Is that what it's called?
Kris is how it's spelled. I don't know how to say it.
We just got to open up Diablo 2.
Hell yeah.
You can still play it online. It's insane. It's still being patched. It's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, you can just...
Why play Diablo 2 when you can do Diablo 3?
Diablo 2's just got a better
It's
aesthetic.
classic. Yeah. It's true.
Zweihander.
Yeah, I'm sure that's how you say that.
I don't know. It's German. It's a German sword.
Nicole had this thing that it was like a razor blade that got really hot called a hot knife that she'd cut vinyl with. Probably that.
Oh, yeah.
That's like a lightsaber.
pretty much.
Because you talked about a curvy bladed sword, and these are like that too. But so the one that's KRIS is like a dagger. That's how it is. The one that's like an actual sword that's like curvy. I know there's some of these that are like that.
I really didn't know you guys were going to
I have a picture.
amuse me
I
with
like
this.
swords, y'all.
Okay. Did I ever tell you a babysitter of
penis.
mine? those are jokes I would never expect out of Corwin.
He also doesn't hear them until he's editing usually, so I'm glad that you were here and you laughed, Nina, because like. What was the one that I did?
Skater Vans. We were talking about shoes, and Corwin's like, "Oh yeah, you got some Skater Vans," and I didn't laugh.
Oh wow!
And I guess Corwin was like, "Oh man, I thought James would have really liked that." And then I was editing, and I laughed so hard. And then I messaged him, and he was like, "Yes, I'm so glad you laughed at that."
I know that if I don't get you in the moment, I will get you later.
But I had a babysitter who had a full suit of armor in their living room, and that's where we would sleep.
What?
And it was as a
This explains a
7-year-old.
lot, I feel.
As a 7-year-old, it was the most terrifying thing ever, especially after I'm playing things like Medieval. Remember that game for PlayStation where it's just like...
It's on sale now. I saw it the other day.
Yeah, it's just
amazing.
this guy in like a skeleton in a full suit of armor, or playing things like Shadow Tower or Baldur's Gate, where I'm pretty sure suits of armor with no one in them start coming to life.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah. And they were the ones giving me these video games. Like, my parents weren't buying them from me. They were.
Buying
they were
them
nerds.
from you? You made those video games?
No, buying them for me.
You made them video games.
I wish.
Suits of armor coming to life. Based on your childhood. Your
Yeah.
babysitter. Amazing. We learn more about James every day.
Every day. I'm also still thinking about the knife. I don't know. You just want something, hot.
I think a cleaver. No, a hot knife. Let's go hot knife.
Is that
Hot
the
knife.
thing where it's like just a wire between two pieces of something holding it, and then there's an electric current going through it so that it gets hot, and then you use it to cut styrofoam?
Oh, she did taser her. I just remembered the taser.
I was gonna bring that up. She looked badass coming in there for that. She was like making noises outside, and Charlotte was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And like looking in, and we were all like, why the fuck did she go home to Minnesota and also think that nothing was gonna happen?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we now know why.
But we were suspicious of it too at the time because we were like, okay, so she left her in the middle of the road and then went home to Minnesota? This doesn't make
Right.
sense.
And also, just to
So-
clarify, we do know why, and it
Yes.
was because of it was part of her plan.
Yeah,
right?
it's because she
I was
didn't
like,
leave-
wait, do we know?
She didn't leave her drugged up in the middle of nowhere
Right.
with her hand cut off and a tourniquet. She did all of that, but she talked to
Stayed,
her
yeah.
after she was not drugged up and was like, this is what I've done and this is why I did it, because I knew something short of just being completely balls to the wall, crazy drastic measure of cutting off your hand, you would never accept that he abused you.
And a quick little detail that when you watch back or when you think back, remember when she goes to see Anton, Lizzie does, and she says, you know, by the time I woke up but she was already out of the country.
Yeah.
She omitted that
Yeah.
detail because she's like, oh, fuck, I am probably going to end up murdering this dude in front of me.
Well,
Yeah.
and when Charlotte had that conversation with Lizzie, she was like, you'll see, you'll go back and Anton won't love you because you won't be able to play music. You'll see. And I will always be there for you.
This movie
Yeah.
was so fucking good.
But also crazy.
So crazy. I just did not see any of it coming, to be honest. I did not know where this was going.
A 90-minute movie felt like 60 minutes. It was great.
It actually, did go pretty fast as well.
Yeah.
They had weird cult tattoos. They had weird cult
did.
mentality. They had weird religious things about music and cello stuff.
Yeah.
You become the vessel of God when you're in this room. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And like that's perfection, right?
the
I
perfect.
kind of want a prequel to this.
Oh, no, I
was like,
want
Ooh.
Anton to get his comeuppance.
I think
And if there's a
he-
prequel, he
You want to know?
doesn't.
You want to know? I don't.
That's true.
I want a Silmarillion type prequel where it just
Yeah.
reads like a textbook, but not like a story.
I guess I'm like, what do you want to?
What do you want to learn?
Yeah.
I just want to know more about this cult. Cults are cool. I mean, cults are interesting, not cool.
Oh my God, James, they got him.
I know. I
got
was gonna
him.
say, are we a part of it now?
Let's be in the cult of Corwin. It's probably from like episode 7. I brought that up.
Oh,
I am the cult of
amazing.
C. I think I bring that up on a What the Hellmouth.
The Cult of C. That's
Yeah.
one of our listeners.
One of our biggest fans, Marshland Media's #1 hype man.
She tweets us. She live tweets our episodes. It's great. Beautiful. Love it.
Corwin, you got one more note because
I have
on time.
no more notes.
Awesome.
Like I'm literally. I mean, I have a lot of notes on here, but
you could have just said I'd have no more. We're short.
Literally don't see anything that
we're
I
short
want to
on
talk
time.
about. So
Oh my God.
I'm just gonna keep.
Would you
I know it
recommend?
annoys- I would recommend if this movie does not make you. If movies don't bother you when they have body things in the body horror and also sexual content and sexual assault content and things like that.
Yeah.
If you can watch movies like that and it doesn't hurt you, then yes, I would recommend the movie.
Yeah, I would recommend it.
Hell yeah. Same. Also, like, we spoiled a bunch of it, but I think we spoiled it in a way that you would still get if you
still
haven't
won't
watched.
know what the fuck's going on.
I know. I was gonna say it's just so hard to describe what's going on, and like you won't see it in the sequence of events either.
It's
like
also beautiful. Yeah. It's a beautiful movie. I want to find more from this director. It looked amazing.
yeah,
Charlotte's wig at the end was dumb.
the wigs no good. But anyway, that's
Just had to say
last
that.
note.
The wig was dumb. I also am surprised that Charlotte didn't die after getting stabbed in the arm, through the arm.
Yeah, seriously.
The body's a beautiful creation, guys.
All right.
All right, and on that note, yeah, you got any more notes, James?
No, I've been done.
All right, we're all done. That's it. It's a wrap. What are your plugs? Nina, do you have anything that you'd like
No
to...
plugs.
Amazing. Follow my theater company, Saltbucks Theater Collective, and me on Twitter at Corwinning. Also follow this podcast at This Movie's Gay on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, just check us out. We do amazing things.
Yeah,
like
guys.
this podcast. It's amazing.
Woo, woo, woo.
I need to start posting more on the Twitter and Instagram.
Hey,
Sorry,
you do
y'all.
you,
I'm
baby.
bad at social media when I'm busy.
I need to start making promo videos again.
Oh, no. All
Yeah.
right. What are your plugs, James?
Hey guys, check out my other podcasts such as What the Hellmouth, which is going on a short hiatus, but we'll be back. It'll be fine. You can still listen to the back catalog. You won't even know we're gone once we're back, babies. Then also check out Hit It and Crit It. That's the D&D play podcast I'm a part of. Currently, I am DMing a one-shot, which has somehow turned into 3 episodes. It's a coliseum of chaos. I'm bringing them through just this bonkers, crazy wave of monsters. And check out our flagship show, Mostly Speaking Sentai. It's Nicole and I. We're watching Super Sentai, and we barely talk about it. And please, listen to this week's episode. On Thursday, we have Sean Marciniak. He's a great improv and stand-up comedian. He's on, and we've met him just a couple times, but he melds with us perfectly. It is a classic episode. You guys are going to love it. Check those out. For more information, either search the titles on wherever you're listening to here, or go to mlmpod.com and check out my rap music under Marshland Monster. Everything's free to download and stream on mlmpod.com.
We got a website.
Yeah, baby.
All right. I've been Corwin.
I'm Nina.
And I'm James.
Bye.
Oh, yeah, bye. That A sharp, remember the little girl did that.
Oh
She
my
went,
God.
"Ah," and then, ooh, beautiful room of acoustic. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This has been a Marshland Media production, produced by James McCullum. For more content, please visit mlmpod.com. To support our network and have access to exclusive podcasts, head over to patreon.com/mlmpod and sign up today.